Getting older is a natural part of life, but as the years go by, we sometimes develop habits without even realizing it. These habits quietly push people away, not because we intend to, but because no one tells us how uncomfortable they can be. In this video, we'll explore 13 common habits in old age that can silently damage relationships, even with the people who love us the most. And you are watching Next Chapter 50, where the second half of life becomes a brand new beginning. Habit number 1, constant complaining, is one of the most common habits that quietly pushes people away in old age. As we grow older, life naturally brings more challenges, from aching joints to rising costs of living, and it is understandable that frustrations build up. However, when conversations become dominated by negativity, they start to drain the energy from the room and leave others feeling exhausted rather than connected. Friends and family want to share time with you, but if every meeting turns into a long list of grievances about neighbors, politics, the weather, or personal struggles, they may hesitate to reach out. Occasional venting is perfectly human and even healthy, but when complaining becomes a constant theme, people feel weighed down and may slowly withdraw. A better approach is to balance honesty about difficulties with intentional focus on gratitude and small joys. Sharing a story about something that made you smile or expressing appreciation for a kind gesture changes the atmosphere instantly. It shifts the energy from heaviness to warmth, reminding others that you still find beauty in life. This openness to lightness and positivity makes others want to be near you rather than avoid you. Habit number 2, talking only about illnesses, is another pattern that can quietly distance people from you as you age. It is natural to want to share health concerns, especially when living with chronic pain, medications, or medical appointments becomes part of daily life. However, when every interaction turns into a medical update, family and friends may start to feel as if they are stepping into a doctor's office rather than a warm conversation. Loved ones care deeply about your well-being, but they also want to connect with you on many other levels, such as your thoughts about the world, what books you are reading, or the funny thing you saw on television yesterday. When conversations are limited to symptoms and treatments, you unintentionally shrink your identity to just being a patient. This not only discourages visits, but also prevents others from seeing the full richness of who you are. By shifting focus and sharing moments of laughter, curiosity, or joy, you remind others that you are far more than your health struggles. Balance is key, and when you open space for meaningful topics beyond illness, people feel encouraged to stay close. Habit number 3, being too opinionated and imposing your views can slowly turn conversations into arguments and leave loved ones feeling judged rather than understood. With age comes wisdom, experience, and valuable lessons, and it is natural to want to share those insights. However, when every discussion becomes a matter of insisting that your way is the only right way, it creates tension instead of connection. Family members, especially children and grandchildren, may begin to feel that their choices are constantly criticized or corrected, even when they never ask for advice. What feels to you like guidance or care can easily be perceived by others as control or disapproval. Over time, this pattern pushes people away because no one wants to engage in a conversation where they feel they must defend themselves. A healthier approach is to listen with curiosity, acknowledge different perspectives, and occasionally say, "I see where you are coming from, even if I disagree." This small shift creates room for respect and openness, reminding others that your wisdom is a gift to be welcomed, not a weight to be resisted, and it strengthens relationships instead of straining them. If you enjoyed this video, press subscribe. If not, press like. Habit number 4, neglecting personal hygiene, is a sensitive but very real issue that can create distance between you and the people who care about you. As we age, it is easy to lose energy or motivation to maintain daily routines like bathing, brushing teeth, wearing clean clothes, or tidying up the living space. Yet these small acts go far beyond cleanliness. They reflect self-respect and send a message to others that you still value yourself and the relationships around you. When family members or friends visit and are met with unpleasant smells, unwashed clothes, or a cluttered environment, they may not say anything directly out of politeness, but they might hesitate to return. This can be heartbreaking, because often the neglect is not intentional but the result of fatigue, sadness, or feeling that appearances no longer matter. However, maintaining hygiene is an expression of dignity and connection. A simple shower, a fresh set of clothes, or combing your hair shows loved ones that you care, and it allows them to feel comfortable being close to you. These gestures, though small, preserve warmth, respect, and the bonds that matter most as you grow older. Habit number 5, living too much in the past, can quietly limit your ability to connect with others in the present. Reminiscing about the old days, sharing how you met your partner, or recalling what life was like decades ago can be beautiful and meaningful. But when every conversation turns into a trip down memory lane, it leaves little space for new experiences and fresh connections. Children and grandchildren want to know what excites you today, how you feel about their current lives, or what brings you joy in the moment. If you only speak of how things used to be, you unintentionally send the message that the present is less valuable or less interesting. Over time, this can cause loved ones to feel distant, as though their world and experiences are invisible to you. A better approach is to balance treasured memories with curiosity about what is happening now. Ask questions, show genuine interest, and stay engaged with the evolving world around you. By doing this, you honor your past while still creating meaningful connections in the present, reminding others that your heart and mind remain open and alive. Habit number 6, criticizing younger generations is a common pattern that can slowly erode relationships and discourage meaningful connection. It is easy to look at the habits, clothing styles, music, or technology use of younger people and feel that their world is unfamiliar or even wrong compared to the way things used to be. Many older adults slip into the cycle of saying phrases like "kids these days" or "back in my time" without realizing how repetitive and discouraging those words can feel. While the intention may not be to harm, constant criticism makes children and grandchildren feel judged, unappreciated, or unheard, and over time, they may choose to stay silent or avoid spending time together. It is important to remember that each generation faces its own challenges and expresses creativity in new ways, just as yours once did. Instead of pointing out flaws, try acknowledging strengths, complimenting effort, or celebrating qualities like resilience and imagination. By offering encouragement instead of criticism, you build bridges that strengthen trust and closeness, making younger family members feel valued. This positive approach not only deepens relationships, but also keeps love and respect flowing naturally across generations. If this reminded you of someone in your life, write their initials below to honor them. Habit number 7, gossiping or meddling in the lives of others, can slowly destroy trust and create long-lasting conflicts within families and communities. As people age, social circles often become smaller, and the temptation to discuss the private matters of others or insert opinions where they are not asked can grow stronger. While it may feel like sharing concern or staying engaged, gossip often spreads negativity and damages reputations, while meddling leaves others feeling judged or controlled. Loved ones may begin to guard their words or distance themselves because they fear their personal struggles will be exposed or criticized. What may seem like harmless conversation can actually plant seeds of resentment that last for years, weakening even the closest bonds. A healthier alternative is to respect boundaries, listen more than you speak, and allow others the dignity to make their own choices. Offer advice only when invited and focus conversations on supportive, uplifting topics. By choosing silence when necessary and resisting the urge to control, you show maturity and wisdom, creating a safe and trustworthy presence. This builds stronger connections and ensures that relationships remain rooted in respect and love rather than suspicion and conflict. Habit number 8, refusing to learn or adapt, especially when it comes to technology, can lead to self-isolation and a sense of disconnection from the modern world. It is understandable that smartphones, online banking, or digital platforms may feel overwhelming, but rejecting them completely creates unnecessary barriers between you and your loved ones. Grandchildren communicate through text messages, video calls, and social media, and when you refuse to engage with even the basics, you miss opportunities to connect with their daily lives. This resistance can also leave you feeling dependent, frustrated, or excluded in situations where simple digital skills would bring convenience and independence. On the other hand, taking small steps to learn keeps the brain active and provides a sense of accomplishment. Attending a basic computer class, asking a friend to show you how to use a video call, or practicing with a smartphone can open new doors and strengthen bonds with others. Adapting does not mean abandoning tradition. It simply means staying connected to the present while embracing useful tools. By being willing to grow and learn, you show resilience and keep your relationships in mind young and alive. Habit number 9, playing the victim, is a behavior that can create emotional distance and close the door to meaningful connection. It often begins with painful thoughts, such as my children never visit, nobody calls me, or people do not care anymore. While loneliness is real and deeply challenging, placing blame on others without taking action to reach out only deepens the feeling of isolation. Loved ones may withdraw further because they feel guilty or helpless, unsure how to meet expectations that seem impossible to satisfy. Over time, this cycle reinforces sadness rather than healing it. A healthier path is to take small, proactive steps toward connection, such as calling a family member just to say hello, sending a thoughtful card, inviting a neighbor for tea, or joining a community activity. These simple gestures show strength and openness rather than weakness, and they remind others that you value their presence. By shifting from blame to initiative, you create opportunities for warmth, conversation, and companionship. Choosing to act instead of waiting for others to change allows relationships to grow stronger and helps you reclaim a sense of belonging and purpose in daily life. Don't leave quietly. Hit like and drop a comment piece if you feel calm, storm if you feel restless. Habit number 10, being financially controlling, can create hidden resentment and damage relationships by tying love and support to conditions. Many older adults want to help their children or grandchildren, and financial assistance can be a meaningful gift. However, when money comes with strings attached or is repeatedly used as a reminder of what has been given, it shifts the relationship from one of warmth to one of obligation. Phrases such as "I paid for this, so you owe me," that may not be spoken directly but can be felt in the tone and attitude, leaving others burdened with guilt rather than gratitude. Over time, this dynamic can cause family members to pull away, not out of greed, but out of discomfort and emotional pressure. True generosity means giving with a full heart and letting go of control once the gift has been offered. Love should never be measured in financial terms, and support should not become a tool for manipulation. By offering help freely and respecting the independence of others, you build trust, preserve dignity, and strengthen bonds that are rooted in respect and affection rather than in guilt or resentment. Habit number 11, refusing help, often comes from a strong desire to protect independence, but can unintentionally weaken relationships and create distance. Many older adults feel that accepting assistance means losing dignity or admitting weakness. Yet the opposite is true. Allowing others to help is not a sign of failure, but an opportunity for connection and love. When a granddaughter offers to carry groceries, a neighbor offers a ride to the doctor, or a friend brings over a meal, these gestures are expressions of care and respect. Rejecting them repeatedly can make loved ones feel unwanted or unneeded, which in turn discourages them from reaching out again. Pride can be powerful, but when it prevents closeness, it becomes a barrier instead of a strength. Embracing help when it is offered gives others the joy of contributing and reminds them that their presence matters. It also creates a sense of mutual support that enriches both sides. By accepting assistance with gratitude, you not only make life easier for yourself, but also build deeper bonds that are rooted in kindness, humility, and shared humanity. Habit number 12, losing a sense of humor, can make interactions heavy and discourage others from spending time with you. Aging often brings challenges such as illness, grief, or physical discomfort, and it is natural to feel weighed down. Yet humor is one of the most powerful tools for lightening that load. A smile, a laugh, or the ability to see the absurd side of life does not erase problems, but it brings warmth and relief both to you and to those around you. People are naturally drawn to those who can still find joy in small things, who can laugh at themselves, and who remind others that even in difficulty, the heart can stay young. When humor fades, conversations become serious and somber, leaving little room for connection and comfort. But when you nurture playfulness and laughter, you create a welcoming atmosphere that uplifts everyone. It shows resilience, optimism, and emotional strength, and it makes your presence a gift rather than a burden. Holding on to humor does not mean ignoring reality. It means choosing to carry it with grace, reminding others that life is still beautiful even with its challenges. Hit subscribe if you want more content like this. Comment more if you're ready for the next one. Habit number 13, giving unsolicited advice, often comes from a place of love and care, but can easily be misunderstood as criticism or judgment. With age comes wisdom and valuable lessons, and it is natural to want to share what you have learned. Yet when advice is offered without being asked, it can make others feel as though their choices are not respected. Children or grandchildren may interpret repeated suggestions as a lack of trust in their abilities, which can create frustration and distance. Sometimes people do not want solutions. They simply want to be heard and supported. A simple response like that sounds difficult, or I'm proud of. You can provide comfort and validation far more powerful than a list of instructions. By holding back and waiting until advice is requested, you create space for deeper trust and openness. When the time comes that your guidance is truly needed, it will be welcomed rather than resisted. Resisting the urge to fix every problem shows humility and strengthens bonds, allowing your words to be seen as encouragement rather than control, and making your presence more nurturing and appreciated. Conclusion: growing old is a privilege, but what truly matters is growing old with kindness, openness, and a sense of humor. Even a small change in one habit can improve relationships and turn your presence into a gift rather than a burden. The gentle reminder is to ask yourself if you recognize any of these habits within you and to begin transforming from the smallest step forward.